Is it me, or have you ever caught yourself spiraling over something that hasn't even happened yet? Like your mind is 3 weeks or hell, sometimes 3 months ahead, playing out every worst case scenario, and we know the worst case scenarios hardly ever play out. You're freaking out about something that hasn't even landed on your calendar yet. Well, I'm glad. Me too. I'm not alone in this. And lately, I've been saying this phrase quite often to people over the last couple of weeks, and it's been something along the lines of, that's such a tomorrow problem, or such a next week's problem, or that's such a next Thursday's problem. And it's not because I don't care, it's not because I'm avoiding something, but it's because I realize that we are often finding ourselves freaking out ahead of time. And freaking out, pre stressing doesn't help me. It actually drains me. Now, I remember going to a water park once time with some of my friends when I was younger, and we were just young guys laughing, running around in the wave pool, hoping to talk to a girl or two. And then I don't know what happened, but through our roughhousing and playing with the foot, playing with a football, we noticed something. Just we spotted just beyond the wave pool. It was this towering bungee platform, just relatively off in the distance on the other side. And you know how it goes. Egos got loud. Dares started getting thrown out. Gauntlets were being laid down. And, I just remember talking about who was the scariest and who was chicken. And everyone just started measuring their courage like it was a contest. Next thing I know, I thought we were just going like get something to eat, some nachos or a hot dog, and we start walking. But the next thing I know, we were signing waiver forms. And then we're walking up the stairs. And I remember the loud, the Johnson and the talking trash got quieter and quieter with every step up that stairs. The noise faded, the jokes got quieter, and by the time we reached that top of that platform, silence. Now, I gotta acknowledge the view was stunning. The highway was just in the distance, birds flying by. It was beautiful. And this low hum of life from the pool below. And then the instructor says, all right, who's up first? And I can't remember how this occurred or why it occurred. But somehow I stepped forward. It's like someone else was just in my body. And I just remember they started strapping me in and going, putting the straps on my ankles and talking. And then all of a sudden I got to the edge and all of the sound went away. The world just stopped. The sound, the movement, all I remember was the wind blowing across my face. Everything went still. And then I was jolted. I don't know how, when I just heard the instructor finally say, are you going to jump or do you want me to push you? Now I can tell you, I didn't answer, but I did have a quick thought of, hey, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it myself. And I don't want to look like a wimp or something. And these guys talk about me further. And I just remember jumping. Now, to be fair, I don't remember him saying he was ready for me to jump. I just know it was a question, but I jumped. And in that moment, free falling through the air, I can tell you, I wasn't thinking about anything. Not from what I signed, not about what people would think, not even the danger. It was quiet. It was weirdly peaceful. And right before I was hurtling towards death, the cord snapped me back. The classic yo-yo effect that you get from the bungee. And I can tell that was the worst part, guys. Like actually the yo-yoing back up and down. But while I was hanging there waiting for them to reel me in midair like I'm a fish at the end of a pole, I had spent that whole time, moments before, freaking out, stressing out. Even though it wasn't verbal, I was freaking out on the inside, thinking about worst case scenarios, thinking about what could happen, what could go wrong, what people think of me. But I realized I was freaking out before it was even time to be afraid. And on the ground, what was I doing? Freaking out. Climbing up the stairs, what was I doing? Freaking out. Standing at the top of the platform, what was I doing? Freaking out. But truthfully, there was really nothing to be scared of, nothing to be fearful of, nothing to be freaking out about until my toes hit the edge of that platform. And gotta acknowledge, we do this all the time. We panic in advance. We rehearse things that haven't happened yet. We carry fear that hasn't even earned its place in our universe. and we burn through our peace before the real moment ever even arrives. And let's be real, that conversation, you're not having it today. That decision is not something that needs to be decided today. It's not even on your desk, in your world, on your phone. That outcome hasn't even come close to coming to fruition, but you've already worried yourself into exhaustion. You gave energy to something that you didn't need to give it to. Here's the truth. Most of what you're afraid of hasn't even earned the right for you to be fearful of yet. You can handle it whenever it comes. The future you is wise and capable and steady. But right now, you don't owe your peace to this phantom problem that most likely won't be nearly as bad as how you're thinking it. Now, here's what I want you to sit with. What are you panicking for about right now? What are you stressing about? What are you concerned about? What are you anxious about right now that I can tell you doesn't belong to today? So what I want you to do is say it with me. That is such a tomorrow's problem. That is such a next week's problem. That is such a next month's problem. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to release it. I want you to come back, return to this moment, take a deep breath. This right here is where you need to be. You don't need to be carrying all of it right now. I want you to stay grounded, stay present, because you and the people around you and the people that matter today need you to be here, not stressing about something next week. And I just want you guys to always know, I love you much.